Good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining us for this evening's post-match press conference featuring ODI captain Temba Bavuma following the conclusion of the first Betway ODI between South Africa and Australia here in Bloemfontein. It is a hybrid press conference, so we will look to take a few questions from the floor first before we offer it up to those who have joined us online. So, Stu, would you like to start us off this evening?
Temba, well played. Just start with the obvious one. What was the hardest part about batting on that pitch?
Hardest part about batting on the pitch, I think the obvious one was the variable bounce that we experienced, that we saw. I think their bowlers as well didn't give us anything really to kind of free our arms, get ourselves going. They hit the area and they got the variability within the wicket. Yeah, I think that was probably the hardest one.
Given what you saw from their bowlers, what did you then make of the way South Africa's bowlers performed?
In terms of the way we bowled, look, I think it's no secret the way we went about it. The first 10 overs wasn't great, albeit we managed to get the wickets. But in terms of at what cost, in terms of the runs, you know, that never really gave us the ability to keep the game in control. We obviously didn't have the runs as well. But I think looking at the way some of their guys scored, they were able to free their hands both sides of the wicket. That definitely wasn't part of the plan. So I think that's just a mis-execution thing. And then I think probably when the twilight set in, and it obviously became night, it looked like the wicket got a bit better, and we kind of lost our, I guess, ability to create chances within that period. But yeah, our first 10 overs versus their first 10 overs, chalk and cheese, I'd say.
Temba, when Lungi came in, you decided, I'm going to try my best and play some shots, trying to get to that 100.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of thought back to when I was batting with Lungi in East London, when we played against the West Indies, where I gave him the freedom to kind of go out and bat and express himself, and I think he did that quite well. I did get some criticism for that approach of mine, but I felt on this wicket where it wasn't that easy, I found it tough, so kind of assumed that he'd also find it tough. I thought the best way for us was, I guess, for me to try hog it from the other side and try score as many runs as I can in hitting boundaries.
Was there a small thank you on 88 with Eric Kerry?
Yeah, I'll probably have to buy him lunch tomorrow, Lungi. But yeah, he did me a solid one there.
And also, were you disappointed 113, 17 for 7 and not making it? You were great guns to defend that total.
Yeah, definitely. I think if you get a team in that position, you expect yourselves to be able to clean the game. We always speak about being relentless, and look, when you get given a sniff against a team like Australia, you gotta take it. I think if the situation or the roles were reversed, and we were 113 for 7 and they were bowling, you know, I mean, they would have prided in themselves, kind of cleaning up the game. So obviously disappointing, you know, that we weren't able to finish off the game. But I think we can also take whatever confidence there is in the fact that we were able to get them into that position.
Stu?
Just quickly to go back to the differences between the two attacks tonight. The bowling struggled in Durban as well during those T20s. What is the problem with the execution at this stage?
Hard to say, Stuart. I mean, I'm not a bowler, so I think I gotta be careful. It's always easier for us batters or guys watching from the outside. But I think it all comes down to, I mean, the tactics are there, the plans are there, but I think it all comes down to the execution. Maybe you have a case of guys haven't played in a while, haven't played international cricket a while, they haven't played at this intensity. They're simply not adjusted yet to to this level of intensity and challenge, it could be that that's the case. But what I can expect is guys will get better. These are world-class players that we have within our team. We don't expect them to, I guess, keep making the same mistakes over and over. And I think that goes to the batters as well. It's not just all fault on the bowlers. Yes, the wicket was tough, but I think as batters, we pride ourselves in adjusting to the conditions and coming up with a plan and ensuring that we get the team into a more than competitive position. So I think all around there's improvements and conversations to be made.
Temba, you had cramps in the end and you were off the field, not feeling for a while. Are you okay to play the second match?
I believe I will be. I think it was more precautionary. My hammy felt tight, but I think I'll be fine.
I also wanted to ask about the limping. The second question was, what is it that you learned from today's match, taking forward into Saturday's match?
What is it that I learned? I think in terms of the innings itself, speaking about my batting, probably one of my tougher innings. I think I've had to experience. I think there were times where I guess I wanted to try and make a play or maybe play a high risk shot, but I was able to kind of rein myself in, think of the bigger picture, try make sure that I was there around the 45th over, and then that's when I would have that freedom. So I guess getting over that mental hurdle, I would say, is a bigger learning, and I guess is to take comfort and confidence in the fact that if the runs are not happening now down the line, they will come.
One more from the floor before we go online.
Thank you so much. First of all, Mr. Temba Bavuma, I would like to congratulate you by making 114 runs. I just want to ask you for the next coming match, what do you expect from Australia as you are going to play your last ODI match here in Free State?
What do I expect from Australia? I expect a high-class team. I expect a team who will adapt to the conditions and not make it easier for us. I think they'll be a lot better with their batting. So I think that's going to ask us of a team to be a lot better. But yeah, I expect a high-class team to put us through our paces.
Thanks. We've got two online. We'll start with Telford, then look to wrap with Hines.
Thanks, Lucy. How's the Temba? As we know, you weren't able to be on the field for much of Australia's innings. What decisions do you think you would have taken differently from what happened on the field if you were able to be in there?
I think the decisions that were made, Captain Aiden, I wouldn't point a finger at him at any of his decision making. I think for me, watching from the side, it was just probably our inability to create chances in that innings between Marnus as well as Ashton Agar. I guess Ashton Agar isn't a top order batter. Albeit, he's no muck with the bat, he can hold the bat, but I probably would have encouraged the bowlers maybe to use their bouncer a lot more. Even to Marnus, really, with the big square boundaries, I would have encouraged him to play his bumper a bit more. But yeah, I can't really point fault at any of the decisions that Aiden or the rest of the guys made out there.
Thanks, Telford. And finally, Hines.
Thanks, Lucy. Hi, Temba. Well played. I just quickly wanted to ask, like you mentioned, there's still a lot of time for you guys to inevitably get better and stuff, but there's also the matter of the fact that you guys have also lost 4 on the trot now. Are you in any way weary of almost like psychological spiral, so close to the World Cup in this series particularly?
We've lost 1 ODI game. So that's how at least I'm viewing it. Within this ODI group, I think it's not going to serve me any use by referencing to what happened within the T20 game. There was a different personnel, but I think where I give credence to your question is the fact that as a group within the batting and the bowling and even the fielding, we simply weren't good enough, and we need to find ways to improve. our game holistically. The psychological spiraling, not too sure about that. I think after today we'll have our post review. We'll look at our game, and we'll challenge ourselves to get better.
Great. Thank you very much. Thank you, Temba, for joining us. Thank you to those in the room and online. Please hold on for Australia.
Thanks.
Thank you.